reinforcements in, so is going to be able to defend that base. Will he lose some High Templar here? Nope. Pike is just going to retreat, but Pike has actually double expanded. He's taken the mineral only and the bottom right as well. So the tables have kind of turned here. If the game goes on for a little bit longer now, Pike will be the one in a good position. 8 gateways up for SneazeL. An interesting layout right here for the base. I don't know if like a unit might get trapped if you build it. Like if you build a Dragoon here, it might get stuck somewhere. I'm not really sure. It looks a little bit iffy, but if we look at the supply, look at this. Pike completely supply blocked after losing all those overlords in the drop. So SneazeL, who actually did produce a few extra Corsairs here, managed to at least do that. But wow, a hive is actually finished already. Adrenal glands on the way. Pike is somehow doing everything at once, you know, dropping the Protoss, double expanding, teching up to hive. I actually don't know how he's managing to do everything. Although I guess he is up at 4 bases now, kind of, not really saturated at this base. And looks like a pro of SneazeL going over here to the mineral only, gets spotted by an overlord and kind of sheepishly backs off. If you look at the upgrades, 2-1 done for the Protoss, almost 3-1, and 1 Carapace, and that's about it for the Zerg. So Protoss has completely out-upgraded the Zerg here, and he's also going to scout this bottom right base. That's actually very, very important that he scouts this. He also sees that it's just gotten up, so he has a nice window here to do an attack, and it looks like that's exactly what he's going for. Pike's Overlord and Ling will see this attack coming, and his army is kind of out of position here. He's been defending the bottom path here on the map on Heartbreak Ridge, but on Heartbreak Ridge there are these 3 paths through the map: the top, the bottom, and this very thin middle path here. So you can't just camp the lower one, although that does kind of cover all his expansions. He is pulling some units back now to defend this attack, which is not particularly scary. Okay, there's the units. I was going to say, SneazeL's army was looking a little bit small, and oh man, he's leading with the Zealots. He should not be doing that. There are lurkers here, and he is storming them, so got to be very, very careful on how he chooses to engage here. When you go into when you attack a lurk position, and oh my god, a lot of Scourge coming in here, gonna get all the Corsairs, but can they get the Observer? I think the Observers are the important things here. If you can snipe all the Observers, the attack will be completely halted. Huge storms going down, and the Observer does get sniped, but there are 2 more here in the army, but most of the units are gone. It's actually mostly just High Templar left, and SneazeL should back off here. Does not want to lose these High Templar, those very, very gas-heavy High Templar. At this stage in the game, you really need to conserve those. I mean, even without the storms, you want the Archons. And he's gonna get surrounded by lurkers here. He should have ran away a while ago. Oh man, see this, he left his army there a little bit too long. As soon as most of his army went away and he was down to these units, he should have just immediately sent them back home. But right now, Pike is looking in a very nice position in the game. He's at 103 supply against 123 of SneazeL. SneazeL just now taking the mineral only. Looks like he might be thinking of doing a double expansion of his own here. And can he actually save these Templar? Pike seems to not be paying attention to these. The Lings are actually going after the Dragoon, so Pike, I think, making a bit of a mistake. Oh no, he will get 1 High Templar. I think he could have actually gotten all 4 of those Templar if he was microing those Lings. But it looks like SneazeL actually going for a Zealot attack on the bottom right base. Just right-clicking the hatchery here. Can he get it? I think he will. These +3 Zealots are doing massive damage to the hatchery. The hatchery will go down. 1,000,000 lurkers burrow, but just seconds too late here. And SneazeL with amazing upgrades. He's got the double forge going. Is he actually getting shields as well now? Yeah, look at this. SneazeL really prioritizing these upgrades. He's already at 3-2. That's a very, very fast 3-2. The Zerg is just now at +2 Carapace, and that's it. So 3-2 Protoss army is going to be quite effective here. A nice storm going down on those lurkers. Got to be careful though. It's a little bit of a choke point. And the lurkers though are clumped up. Can he storm one more on these 2 lurkers? Yes, he does. Very nice storms. Only 2 lurkers left in the back. Will he be able to break through? Not a tremendous number of Dragoons, and also his money once again is getting a little bit high here, although Pike's is as well. Both players slipping on the macro a little bit. An interesting location for an Ultralisk Cavern. I have no idea why Pike would put that at his 4th. That's a very vulnerable location, I feel. But he is defending it, looks like. Once again pushing the Protoss army back, and these engagements I don't think are very good for SneazeL. To lose, I mean, he's losing all these costly High Templar and Dragoons right now. And he's also trying to expand. I mean, in PvZ, these kinds of army trades are much, much better for the Zerg. Just because they have much faster reproduction and obviously just cheaper units in general. And looks like he might even deny this expo. Can the Protoss army get there in time? It looks like he will get there in time. Fortunately, the Ling's just going AFK for a second there. But they will go after the Nexus now. They do have the Adrenal Glands upgrade, I do believe. Unfortunately, though, they weren't all actually targeting Nexus. So Pike will not be able to take that down. And for the time being, that means that Pike and SneazeL are on even bases, which of course does favor the Protoss. SneazeL does seem to be keeping up a nice gateway count, though. He's on 11 gateways. So that's very good. And with the double upgrades, that is keeping his money down now. Looks like Cannon's going down to the top left, and Overlord's going to see this. There's not much Pike can do about it because the Protoss army is defending this ridge right here. But it looks like he might just go for a counterattack on the main or possibly the third. Some Ultras are out now. They have speed but no armor. It's interesting. Pike actually opted for the Ultralisk speed upgrade before Ultralisk armor. Now he's getting the +2 carapace bonus. I've actually only seen one other player do that. And his reasoning was that he always went with Dark Swarm with his Ultra, so he didn't actually need the extra armor. But in this case, I think he should have actually gotten the armor first. I don't know why he would opt for the speed before armor. I mean, speed Ultras allow them to keep up with the Zerglings, but that +2 armor is actually really, really helpful in tanking hits, especially against Zealots. But it looks like, well, SneazeL is going to be able to hold on to his ridge right here, so his mineral only will be safe. But he's... I mean, I think Pike's doing a good job here, keeping the pressure on. He's retaking his bottom right base. It's about to pop right here. He might want to go for another drop. There's still 3 cannons here. Interestingly, SneazeL's actually left 2 Eye Templar here. I think that's a very, very smart move to deal with any pure crackling drops. These Eye Templar will be very nice. Although for some reason he doesn't have the energy upgrade. These Templar are only at 200 of 200 energy, and looks like there is going to be a 4 Zealot drop here. Going to try and snipe the hatchery once again. Are there any units nearby? There are some Zerglings here, and with those speed upgrade, they should be able to come back and save it in time. SneazeL meanwhile is at 3-1-3 already. 3 weapons, 3 armor, and 1 shield. Here come the Zerglings, the 2-1 Lings. Are they going to be in time? Oh man, look at this. The Zealots doing a ton of damage. Pike though doing a nice stack there, doing a very nice micro trick. Gonna morph it into a lair. Can he save it? No, it does go down, which means that the extra resources for the lair are also gone to waste. A pair of Scourge are here now, but it's a little bit too late. A very nice snipe by SneazeL, just denying that very cheaply. And there is a Dark Archon, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, SneazeL playing somewhat unorthodox Protoss styles. And this is what I love to see. I am a huge fan of Dark Archons in PvZ. The feedback spell is so good. If you don't know what that does, basically on any spellcaster, any unit that has energy, if you feedback it, all the energy goes to 0, and the amount of energy that it has is actually converted into damage on the unit. And for Defilers, basically Defilers are very, very low HP units. They have just 80 HP, and they're almost always have full energy due to consume. So if you feedback it, you're almost guaranteed a Defiler kill for every single feedback you have. And not only that, obviously the Maelstrom spell is also very, very useful against Ultralisks. So the Dark Archon, man, Protoss has got to start using this unit some more in the late game. But the rest of the army is not particularly big. There's a lot of High Templar, but no Archons. Crucially, you really need Archons to deal with the Ultraling. Zealots, Goons, and Temps, unless you can get magical storms off, is really not going to cut it. It looks like we do have a nice gateway block here by SneazeL. It's not Link type, but it will stop Ultras at least. And there's a very nice Maelstrom, followed by a Storm. That is a very nice usage there. I mean, there were no Defilers on the field to feedback, so going for the Maelstrom, very, very nice. And it looks like he's actually going to take down rather, most of the Ultras, but the Crackling reinforcements might be enough to take him down. I think, well, I don't know. I mean, see, SneazeL's army is just so well upgraded that he's making... he's being more effective than it looks like he should be able to, although now it seems that Pike has caught up. He's on 3 carapace and 2 melee attack, and his Ultras should have the carapace bonus. Yes, they are +5 carapace Ultras, so very, very scary. But once again, SneazeL sending in a commando squad of Zealots to snipe this hatchery. Pike trying to do a fancy Zealot block, but I think he might be forced to cancel his hatchery once again. Even though there's a bunch of Ultras there, the DPS of the Zealots might be too much. Is he going to cancel it? It's going to be close here. It's going to be really close. Can he kill it? Oh, there's no cancel. The hatchery is killed. Pike did not want to cancel it. He thought he could save it, but no, he was not able to. Just such a close timing right there. And now SneazeL's own Nexus at the top left is up here. I mean, Pike, he's mined out of his main. He's stuck on these 3 bases, the mineral only. And wow, his saturation is actually not very good. He needs to transfer some of these drones. His natural's almost gone. He needs to send some over here. For some reason, building his crucial hive tech at this mineral only base, that feels a little bit dangerous. He does have a lot of Ultras on the field. There's still only 1 Archon. Where are the Archons? SneazeL needs more Archons. He storms all his own Templar right there. But it looks like it is going to be enough. The Dragoons doing some nice damage. Of course, Dragoons are actually quite effective against Ultralisks when there's no Dark Swarm to support them, doing their full explosive damage against the Ultralisks. And Pike I mean, despite doing some nice early game multi-pronged attacks and harassment, has now, well, he's just stopped doing them. I mean, he has done pretty much no drops into the main ever since that initial Hydra Lurker drop, and everything since then has just been one, you know, just kind of trying to defend his own bases and letting SneazeL be on the offensive. Whereas on this map especially, I think the Zerg needs to be the aggressor, because in this kind of split map situation, as you can see, the bases are split 50-50. That's obviously good for the Protoss when you're on even bases. However, there's no Reaver tech just yet for SneazeL, which could prove to be problematic now that there are Defilers on the field. And it looks like, oh, some DTs down here. I believe that was a drop. I heard some Scourge blow up. There are Overlords here, and there's no detection for this DT. It looks like he's just going to try and snipe some drones. But, oh man, Mr. DT going to get 0 kills here. Wow, 2 DTs with, well, he's going to get a Defiler. Okay, that's a pretty good DT. And holy check, that is a lot of drones. Pike now mined out at his main as natural, just sending everything. He's actually almost mined out at his third. But SneazeL, I think he's in a very nice position here. He's at 161 supply against 112. Pretty significant supply difference. And wow, that DT's actually still alive. Nope, now it's gone. Interestingly, this Overlord's actually been here like the whole game in the Protoss base. Anyway. Looks like SneazeL upgrading. Looks like SneazeL actually forgot to get another upgrade here. He's still sitting at 313 with no further shield upgrade. Looks like 2 High Templars and a Dark Templar. Very nice. And oh, Plague! A nice Plague! And looks like a second Plague actually went off there, but only got 1 Zealot on the second one. But the first Plague catching a lot of these units. However, I mean, SneazeL should basically now be transitioning into a gradually more heavy Archon composition here, and obviously that won't be effective as much by Plague, but all these Zealots and Dragoons will certainly be affected. And well, looks like we have an attack going down here to the mineral only. And see, this is what I'm talking about here. The mineral only is basically the most exposed base that the Zerg can take. I guess besides like the middle expo, but so I don't know why you'd put such crucial tech structures there, unless you're just supremely confident in defending those bases. But it looks like he won't be able to. Actually, no, coming in for a nice surround. The Archons are all going down. Some reinforcements from SneazeL. The Ultras are all heavily damaged. Who will take the battle? It looks like SneazeL will take it. And now he's coming bearing down on this base, and Pike might lose his Ultra Cavern and Defiler Mount here in one go, as well as these 2 hatcheries. And a nice Storm going down once again, but still no Archons, only 1 Archon, but he's attacking his hatchery rather than the units. He's actually got almost no HP anyway. A nice Storm goes down right there. SneazeL Storms have been pretty good this game. And wow, we have a lot of DTs out right now. DTs, of course, very, very good against Ultras due to their high damage per attack, basically ignoring the